is Jazzy, and I'm here with Mr. DJ Drama. Mr. Drama, how you doing today?
What's up, Jazzy? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm a big fan.
Aw, thank you. I'm a big fan of you, too.
I appreciate it.
Well, you have an extensive catalog of music, and you are a legend in the mixtape and music game.
Right.
So how did the Gangsta Grillz vision begin, and how were you able to make it so successful?
You know, I really started kind of just with it was an idea. I mean, I've been making mixtapes since I was probably a little bit older than you, and I fell in love with mixtape culture during my high school days. And, you know, I was originally from Philadelphia, and I went to Atlanta to go to college. When I was in college, I was making mixtapes.
Now, you know, basically in ATL, you know, we did in the mix CDs, jumping, steady club night.
And I used to make all different types because I had to make sure I had something for everybody. So I would have like a reggae tape, a up north hip hop tape, a neo soul tape, and a down south tape. And around the year 2000, I started. I had my first south tape was called one was called Jim Crow Laws, and then the second one was called How the South Was Won. And then I needed a new name for a tape, and I just was kind of like in my crib at the time, and I was playing with words, and I was like, Gangsta Grillz. Okay, Gangsta Grillz, that sounds good. So I named it Gangsta Grillz, and I started it out, and originally it was just like a compilation of all the hottest songs that came out of the South. And then I had met T.I. early in my career. It was around the time when 50 Cent and Dipset were really hot, and they were doing street albums, and me and T.I. made a street album, which was a Gangsta Grillz tape. And then not too long after that, I started working with young Jazzy, who Coach K was a neighbor of mine around the corner, and he was a new artist, and we did a Gangsta Grillz together, and it went crazy. And then we did Trap or Die, which went even crazier. And then around that same time, I was on tour with T.I., and he was on the phone with Lil Wayne, and I asked Tip if I could speak to Wayne. And I got on the phone with Wayne, and I was like, yo, you know, we were overdue. It's time for us to do a tape. And he was like, let's do it. And then Dedication came. And then after the T.I., Jeezy, and Lil Wayne tapes, everybody and their mom wanted a Gangsta Grillz.
I can definitely see how you rose to the top as a DJ. And, I mean, you worked with some of the biggest artists in the industry, so congratulations. I mean, you worked with Lil Wayne, T.I. I mean, that's a lot of people. And
I worked with a lot.
Well, hopefully I get to interview Lil Wayne someday. I'll tell him about you.
I'm sure that'll happen. I mean, you've interviewed some people. I just did a mixtape with J. Cole. I know you interviewed him. You've interviewed Jack Harlow and Lil Uzi, who are my artist signed generation now. So, yeah, you know, and I could go on for days. Chris Brown, Childish Gambino, Meek Mill, Fabulous, Gucci Man, you know, Jeremiah, you know, you name them, I've probably done a mixtape with them.
Well, that's cool that you've been able to do a mixtape with so many people, and congratulations to you. I just want to congratulate you on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So you played a role in developing and sparking new successful talents like Lil Uzi Vert and Jack Harlow, and now Seddy Hendrix. Right. What attracts you to new artists and believing in their vision?
You know how you give off this energy, like you're so confident and you're so when you walk into a room, people notice you. That's what I like to see in artists per se. The first time I met Uzi, you know, his personality was very over the top. You know, I could already tell that he had a vision and a direction he was going in. Jack, the same thing. You know, when I first followed Jack on Instagram, he had 7,000 followers. And when I met him, you know, and you could go look at old videos. He's been rapping since he was a kid, and I could tell that he had a vision, and you know, he wanted to be one of the greats. You know, Seddy, the same thing. When he first came to Mean Street Studios, you know, his drive and how he was just making song after song after song. You know, I really appreciated that. I really appreciate people who have drive, people who have hustle, and people who have visions. You know, and I really think a lot of time, if you look at, you know, some of the biggest artists in the game, and even some of mine, like Jack and Uzi, they were eventually, you know, destined for greatness. But what myself and my partners, Lake Show and Don Cannon, offer is shoulders to stand on. You know, we've already had so much history, and legacy within hip hop and the culture and what we've done. So it's kind of like, coming to Generation Now, going straight from high school to the leagues. I took my artists on tour with Wiz Khalifa. I put them in front of 20,000. I'm able to take them to Sway in the Morning and do interviews and just, really just give them the shoulder to stand on. So they're already attached to, someone like myself and someone like Don Cannon, who have already done so much within the game. And it's like with our brand, with Generation Now, it's like, okay, if those guys believe in them, then, it must be something. But still, it's a lot of hard work, very early on, there were people who weren't Lil Uzi Vert believers. There were people who weren't Jack Harlow believers, and eventually as time went, you have to trust the process, and trust and knowing that, what I'm saying, it's just about consistency and putting out quality, and that time will come.
You're definitely right about consistency, and you just gotta trust the process. And also, it's great how you were willing to use your status and your platform to help the new artists get the recognition and just accomplish all their goals and dreams that they have. And speaking about goals and dreams, we have your new artist here with us today. We have Seddy Hendrix with us.
Checking emails more than my text shit getting crazy. Riding through the dark nights, hit a loud pipes, I'm alone though. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mr. Seddy?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I have a very important topic to touch on. A lot of aspiring musicians mistakenly feel that once they're signed by a major label or someone like Mr. DJ Drama, that they're put on immediately. So can you please explain the process to all the aspiring artists out there? And can you please explain how both your journeys were like?
Great question.
To be honest, yeah, it may seem like just because you get with a major label that you're put on, but you got to work with everything. Well, I'm speaking on Generation Now. You have to work for everything over there. They're going to give you the shoulders to stand on, but it's up to you to kind of like take that leap that they're basically putting you on and kind of like work with it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's given, nothing's handed. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that process, sometimes artists take it, and run with it. Some artists drop the ball with it, you know what I'm saying? But it's really a balance in between of you and what you want to do. It's really about the hustle and the grind in you, to be honest.
Jazzy, can I add to that? You know what I kind of like to compare it to? I like to compare it to like sports, like the NBA for an example. Like a player goes to college or, works his butt off for, years and years and years to try to make it to professional basketball. And you get drafted, and on draft day, that becomes the biggest day of your life in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But then that's when the real work starts, because once you get drafted, you're in the majors or you're in the big leagues, and you got to be on the court with LeBron James, with Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying? And it's similar in hip hop in a way. Like, once you get signed, to that point, that's an artist's goal and dream, but that's really where the hard work starts. Okay, now I'm signed and on, but now I got to ball with the best of them, because the goal is to win a championship at the end of the year.
Right, and you have to put in the work no matter how successful you are and no matter what doors open for you. That's what separates the good from the great, and that's how you stay on top.
Exactly. That's how you stay on top.
What are your thoughts about that?
No, I agree. My career, I think, is representative of that. I've been in the business, I would say 22 years. I've been DJing 30 years, and I've had moments in my career when I was hot as fish grease, and I've had moments when, I've been knocked down and had to get back up. Probably a little before you was born, I got arrested for selling mixtapes, and they gave me the RICO law, which is like, the crime boss law. And I was just hustling mixtapes, and I actually went to jail for a day for it. And there was, at the time, it was my biggest knockdown, but, it was also important for me to get back up and, what I'm saying, like, show that this is just one chapter of my career, you know what I mean? And then when the story's all said and done, like, it's going to be a 40-chapter book, So artists, DJs, or whoever, executives, when you come into the game, you have moments of like, where you might be successful, but, the greats are those who can consistently, stay in position and keep reinventing themselves. And look at me, like I said, I've been doing mixtapes for thus long, you know, and I go out in front of this crowd when some of these kids are born in the year 2000 or after, and they're screaming my name, you know, and a lot of that came from just being able to, like, you know, because I'm a student of the game, I believe in, you know, if you were to go to school to be a lawyer, you would have to pass the bar. Or if you wanted to be a doctor, you know, you would have to, you know, go to medical school. But when it comes to hip hop, there's not necessarily a school, you know what I'm saying? But I always tell people, if you study your craft, if you treat it in the same manner, then, you know, like, you'll be able to navigate through the music business and navigate and have a very successful and long career. And I've been blessed, you know, as a DJ, you know, the things that I've accomplished, like I say it in interviews or in before, like, my only goal was to get my name on a flyer. That's all I wanted to do, like, when I became a DJ. So everything after that has almost been extra. And like, I just won my first Grammy this year, 22 years later, for a mixtape series I started in my little duplex in the 4th Ward where I barely could pay my water bill.
Well, congratulations on everything, and you definitely deserve everything that you got. And even though that something may, like, stop you from doing something that you love, you should try to work past it and try to accomplish your goals and even move past your goals. Once you already accomplish that goal, you're gonna say, now since I already accomplished, you know, getting my name on a flyer, now I wanna get my name everywhere. I want everybody to know who I am.
I love that. You're right. I do that. I challenge myself. I remember when I made Trap or Die, I was like, man, what am I gonna do next? Like, how am I gonna be able to top this? And then I made Dedication, you know, and then after Dedication, I was like, what can I do next? Or when I signed Lil Uzi Vert, I was like, okay, we made a superstar, and we, you know, and that's one thing too. One thing that at this stage of my career that feels great and I love that I can do is make and watch and be a part of other people's success and them getting rich and famous, you know. So once we were successful with Uzi, it was like, all right, now we got to do it again. And then Jack Harlow happened, and it's like, okay, all right, now we got to do it again. So, you know, Seddy is here, and, you know, the goal is to keep continuing, you know, prospering and, you know, making people or being a part of, you know, people's careers. And I just really love the culture when it comes down to it. Like, I was doing this when I was broke, or
Right.
DJing when I was making $150, you know, and carrying crates and equipment and everything. So, you know, I'm really from the cloth. Like, I really love, at the end of the day, like, I love hip hop to the core. So it's like, you know, to be able to do what I love for a living, it's like, it's a dream come true.
Definitely, and I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you so much for explaining everything, you know, your whole story and everything to everyone out there, because a lot of people may not know your story.
For sure. And definitely, like, you know, even probably some of your fan base, because I know, I mean, you have an enormous fan base, but even someone of your age, like, you know, I'm a little older, so they might not know the history of DJ Drama or Gangsta Grillz. So, you know, there's people that know me for various things, for Gangsta Grillz, and there's people that might know me for my Chris Brown song Wishing, and there's people that know me from Lil Uzi or Jack Harlow, and there's people might know me from, you know, my work with Tyler the Creator. But again, you know, one thing I'm amazed at, I love that you're a Taurus, because I'm a Taurus too, and it's like, you know, you know, even me being able to be here with you and to do this interview and to watch, you know, your rise within the business and, you know, your future and everything. That's what it's about. That's really what it's about. Like, It's about inspiring and, you know, knowing that, like, someone your age can see me and know that I was a 12, 13-year-old kid DJing at my mom's house, and look at me now, you know, and the same with you. Like, you know, it's amazing to watch you, you know, grow and be an amazing interviewer, and sky's the limit.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, as I say, I could definitely see how you rose to the top as a DJ. And just saying, you make me very proud, and thank you so much.
You make us proud. You make us really proud.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have a question for you.
What's up?
How were you able to gain DJ Drama's attention and stand apart from other artists?
I actually snuck in the studio through an A&R at that generation now. Shout out Willie Joe. And that's how I was able to get his attention through the music, because that's his right-hand man. So once it went from Willie Joe ear to DJ Drama ear, he was sold off the first sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's just been that ever since. I've been locked in with him. I separate myself from the other artists, that's something that kind of been in me. That's one of the reasons on why he probably signed me, because like they only breed superstars. So something about me had to be different and special for them to lock in with me. I really just stay focused and stay in my own bubble to kind of like, you know, keep myself separated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And like, if you're trying to be an artist, like a successful artist like Drake or Tyler the Creator or so many other people, if you're trying to be great, like one of the greats, you can't be just like everyone else. You gotta do something different. You gotta do something that stands out.
Exactly. Gotta walk different, dress different, talk different. Everything gotta be different.
Definitely.
For sure, for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much. So can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
Patience, keep going, have faith.
How about you?
I would just say if I can do it, you can do it. You know, trust the process. You know, do what you love, and if you do what you love, it'll never feel like a job a day in your life.
Well, you heard it, guys, from both of them. Trust the process and do what you love. So until next time, jazzing out. All right, guys, so if you thought we were capping, DJ Drama actually has his Grammy right here.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
This is a product of hard work. So if he can do it, you can do it. Trust me, guys, if you want to be an artist, and you're gonna end up like him one day. If you want to be a DJ, you want to be an artist, all you have to do is just trust the process, like you said, and just be you, right?
Amen to that. I don't know what else to say. You said it all.
Oh, thank you. Well, guys, until next time, jazzing out.